Hmm.
What? Just Googling something. Hold on.
Live, you say?
I didn't say live. They're not live yet. I'm just Googling something before the thing. What are little girls made of? Sugar and spice and all things nice, apparently.
And what
Hmm.
planet they're from? I'm always confused by that bit.
Venus.
Hmm. Nice. That makes all the
Perfect.
sense in the world.
Now we can go live.
Excellent. Press the button, Stuart.
What?
What?
Would you say it? Oh, press the button, Stuart, I think is what you said. Sure, I'll do that. We'll go live in a second here.
And welcome back, everybody. I'm assuming.
What? Oh, hi.
Have you been taken over by robots? This is
Maybe.
terribly inefficient.
I'm clearly Stuart. I mean, I wouldn't do anything Stuart wouldn't do.
If that's true.
Jeff Jacobs 69 says, I finally went in and changed my username, LOL. Did you though? Because it still says Jeff Jacobs 69.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, here we are, guys. TOS. We want to see at least 15 super chats and 15 paper. I want to see that support coming in. Put your thoughts in. Super important. It's been a very light week for us in general. So be here.
Yes. Super chat in or PayPal in with your comments, questions, concerns, reviews, scores,
Yeah.
critiques,
Don't be quiet, guys.
praise. I don't know. All the things. Do all the things.
Yeah, we're doing these
Sports
because
channel.
they're fun, but we can't do it if they're not. Stuart, hello. I'm going to
Hi,
straight
that's my
ask you,
name.
though. What do you think of this episode while I share? Episode something, number something.
Yeah, it's all right episode of TOS. It's upper mid tier for me. It's good. It kind of gets ruined with Strange New Worlds backing it, and looking at the Roger Corby thing in a different light. But other than that, not an ensemble piece at all. We got no Scotty, we got no Sulu, we got no McCoy.
The first.
Which you think there might be a McCoy moment because Miss Chapel's in it. Um, yeah, and then there's weird people on the bridge behind them going, oh, oh, oh. It's strange. Anyway, yes, the Dr. Corby episode, the Rock episode, sorry, Rock, and also the very meme-worthy stalagmite shaped like something. It's even colored pink. It's good. It's a good enough episode. Kirk's really good in this episode as well. Corby is, I never liked Corby, and then we watched Strange New Worlds, and I liked Corby. So they did a good job on Strange New Worlds with that. But and Rock is great, a fantastic guest star. Andrea's awesome. Dr. Brown's creepy. Don't like him. Good thing he dies right away. Overall, it's a higher mid range for me as far as scoring will go, I think. But we'll see what this conversation susses out because I like the idea of the civilization that was had to go underground because their sun was dying and they were advanced. They had androids. There's a lot of really cool, interesting Star Trekky stuff here, but overall, it's not a very kind of a boring episode as in the way of visuals and whatnot. Even though you'd think with all the multicolored lights in the caves, it'd be something cool, but it just gets a little repetitive. And I think you were right when we talked about this earlier that the pacing just seems steady, but it's like you keep hoping something good's going to happen, and it just kind of just it's all kind of blasé, you know. So anyway, that's my thoughts. I enjoy it well enough. I think Kirk is really good in this episode, and I like Rock. So and Andrea, and I just last night I kept Andrea, Android, Andrea, Android. Are they trying to tell us something with her name? It was a hint to begin with. All Andreas are androids. This is the truth. If you know an Andrea in your life, I'm just saying. Anyway,
How
so
did it
what are
fe-
your
well, how
thoughts?
did it feel on after our discussion review and then rewatching it with a, my ever critical but hopefully fair eye? Did that change anything, or do you see it any different way?
Not particularly, no.
Hmm.
I've only watched it twice, so I haven't gone back to rewatch it the third time. But it's just it's one I don't look forward to watching when it's next up in the rotation, but I don't mind it. It's not like some other episodes where I'm kind of like, oh, for Christ's sakes, here we go. And if it was on TV and I was just scrolling through, it's one I would stop and probably watch. But you know, I don't know if our discussion changed anything really. I was kind of over exuberant on our last review. I think I was in a good mood. Anyway, but that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts on this episode now that we've talked about it in our initial edited review? And be interested to see if your thoughts change from now until the end of this review, which they might.
But there is a super chat which you should super read.
Oh, so Olivia, $5. Oh, thank goodness I reread the title. We almost saw what little Samuels were made of. This almost got messy. Also, hi, Captain. Hello.
Goodness. Yeah. It's definitely a different to-watch episode, even in the premise. Because first watch, the pacing is weird but not bad, engaging but not thrilling. But the ending really gives it a boost. And there's a few really interesting exposition scenes where we learn about the planet and no one's lying. So those are quite interesting both times. Second time around, it's a lot quicker because there's no twists, turns, or payoffs. It's just the episode. And then the stuff that's slowed down doesn't feel as slow. But I think in second watch, the action feels also less actiony. It kind of like it middles it even more because That said, I was definitely looking for the hints for the episode, Corby and all of them, what they did and didn't give off, vibe wise. Which is kind of a few things coming back. Again, I kind of knew the plot line going in, as in the broad strokes. But yeah, I mean, both times it's the android lad and the android lass that really steal the show. And neither are substantial parts of the episode, but combined they take up a good chunk. They're just performance level, they're nailing their roles, whatever they are, really well.
Yeah.
That you feel, oh man, they both get killed. And both uncomfortable with him and, well, uncomfortable with her in some points. But they really are very well cast. Because you just have so many actors who are just sort of there. And they both elevate the material significantly. Mr. Corby doesn't sometimes. He does a lot of face acting, which is what you meant to do, but he does a lot of very small acting. It's as if he's on a singular line of emotion, but then within that you can go like the lie detector test, right? But it's in a thin line, so he's not got that much of a range. But when he gets very intense, it can spike. So when he keeps himself in the same meter, when he then pushes it further, like at the end, you feel it more. But you'd imagine that I assume from the second watch he's the only real. I didn't catch the first time that he said that it's not cloning. He supposes that they can pull the soul and memories out of somebody, which infers they die. That's why I was inferring from that, because that's not a clone then. That's a real thing. So he's the only one there that's a real person, and everyone else is a clone or self creation, because they're all inferior to him. I mean, Kirk is not Kirk. Kirk is a pale imitation who can sort of act Kirk but not fully. Whereas this guy is a person, right? So there's different scales of who is who, and Adria is so much less a person. She clearly wasn't a clone. She's just, they tried to make her a person and it didn't quite work, but it sort of did.
Well,
there's definitely layers of it.
Yeah, like we talked about. I think Andrea was maybe the first test, very blank slate. And Dr. Brown was the second one, not quite fully there, because he's really off when he meets Christine. And then Corby kind of integrated it more into his own to make it basically him, but not.
Yeah. So if you look at each one being a unique step in how the tech works, because the big guy's also one, right? It's just a different style. So everyone is different. Everyone has different. He has his own sentience. Corby has a cloned sentience, but it's more human. And then, it is interesting. I wonder if they met together as Androids Anonymous and got together, because we know they are from the start, 100%. It is interesting to see how they play and how they flow. One thing I appreciated both times, but more the second time, is that you do, at least I got the vibe both times, that for the most part, Corby's telling the truth at almost every moment, which is kind of unusual. He's not a bad guy, he's not a villain. I think it was Ruck that murder the two guys out of his own volition. 100%, I don't think Corby had anything to do with it. He was surprised.
Yeah, well, he did tell him to just beam down, just the captain.
Yeah.
And then, oh, Christine's there, bring her down too. So he didn't expect two other people necessarily.
No, it's across the board interesting that everyone's kind of running on their own way. But he's not a bad guy. But then by the end, he's like, oh yes, I'll go to a planet and I'll make androids and get them into the population without telling people otherwise they'll be scared and then I'll start replacing people. It's like, you are going escalationally further. Art design, set design is bland as hell. Needs some more stuff in the main ship. There's no techie stuff really, and it is a bit embarrassing looking at the spinnable device at the wall. How it's controlled is just little dials. I mean, you can't get cheaper, and like, we've only got $11. Let's pull pieces from set B from next week and shove them on the wall. There we go. Like, it is so low effort and low tech. It is embarrassing, even for the 60s.
Dials come back quite a few times.
Yeah. But they're doing a broad amount of stuff here, so they can't put money on anything in particular, and you can definitely feel that. They're obviously redressing the set from pieces from previous episodes. They've obviously built the set walls for other things, the doors. I mean, it's all redress, but scale. Mm-hmm. So, but there's no techie bits. I think of the computer controls who dies bit that had a building feel with techie feel. This has none of that. But also, if it's just a living space for humanoid androids from a long time ago, then scale's different.
Right? Says, I have a theory, and it's mine. The technology of the civilization was studied by Dr. Noonien Soong and used for his later android experiments. Your mileage may vary. Possibly, yeah. Possibly.
Yeah, well, the way the second watch went through, it felt like, oh, that's just Picard. That's just the Golem tech.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that too. Yeah.
I mean, the way they express it is just Picard season 3, man. They were organic synths. These are robot synths. So I guess it is still less advanced. I guess closer on the data level, but even less advanced. But I guess it's all different, isn't it? Different slants on the same style, but definitely. They could have gone back here in TNG and, put data in one of the bodies, and there's stuff you could have done with it. And they don't even begin to try to add something at the end of saying, we'll have to never come back here again, or we'll have to go and send survey teams. They just leave. You've got to assume that Starfleet comes back with survey teams because they'll be in their reports and use the tech at some point. But, right? It's entirely ignored. But that's a really important thing to leave. Oh, we're leaving. Okay, cool.
Yeah, a lot of that happens in Star Trek in general. So
yeah,
yeah. So let's just get into it.
Mm-hmm.
They're approaching planet XO3, and we get the whole thing of basically Chapel gave up her career in bio research to serve aboard starships. So she was studying under Corby. They are engaged.
See, that was a big question we had in the previous one, past tense or present tense, and they changed.
It got cleared up because later Andrea says, thank you for bringing his fiancée to him.
They changed tenses throughout.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you got this, it's been 5 years. We haven't heard from him. The chances of him being alive, there are 2 other survey teams that were here, couldn't find him. She's like, I have hope. It's fine, it just, she comes out of nowhere in this episode, really. Like, she was in 1 or 2 other previous ones in production order, but very small role. This one is very much like a Gene Roddenberry saying, hey, put my wife in this one. And of course the backlighting on her, like when you see her from the front on the bridge, you got the backlight, and it's like, oh, there's very soft filters on her for almost every scene in this, which it's Star Trek. So
yeah, it's a bit of a confused start. I don't think in any rational human's brain you're still a fiance to somebody who you thought was dead 3-4 years ago. In no way is that you're not still fiancés. She can't think that. She thinks he's dead, and or he's made no effort to communicate with her, and or he can't have, in which case he might have found somebody, she might have found somebody. It doesn't really track. So that's why the past tense makes sense, but the way he approaches her in the story is fully like fiance, but she's also so calm. You would I mean, how far would you go heaven and earth if your fiance is lost, but you know where he is in theory? And you can charter ships, like
Yeah.
oh no, I can't go and try and find my fiance who I've known for years, I want to marry, who's famous, because I'm on duty. No, you would. So it doesn't really track. She obviously thinks he's
I
dead,
always
etc., etc.
I always thought, like, all my years watching this, that they were engaged, just not anymore. But this one, it's kind of muddy as far as that goes. But
Because at
yeah,
what year do you just say, well, he's probably dead,
exactly. Yeah,
right? So
calling
it's
off the engagement. You're dead, you bastard. In three
yeah.
years.
Because if he didn't try and contact you in 5 years, then and if he couldn't, he's probably injured or dead. Maybe try and go after him. Especially if he's that famous, you would think, like, I mean, but also two survey teams go to the place he is and they can't find him. The evidence is that he's been dead for years, right? And that also gives Stranger Worlds a whole lot of problem, as in he can't meet Kirk because he says he hasn't met him, and they've got to get engaged right in season 4 because it's 5 years, and that can't be season 5 because he has to go right from engagement to this planet. There's no other time between, which also means the fame of this episode that he's galaxy famous and he's taught at the Academy. In Strange Worlds, he's just a well-known guy. There's no comparison of fame, and there's nothing you can do in between that makes him that famous.
Did you say he taught at the academy?
No, well, his stuff was taught at the Academy.
Required reading.
Yeah. I guess they could have been in the last 5 years. His like painter gets more famous after they die, but he wasn't that famous in Strange Worlds. He's just a cool guy that people liked, that was known. But the disparity of fame is certainly there, which is a shame.
Yeah. And Chuck Jones says that Christine say 3 years, so 3 years. No, it's 5 years.
Long
I
time.
just said 3 years because he said Sam asked how long before you assume someone's dead and just move on with your life.
I mean, surely that first
Versus-
survey mission, like, we haven't found him, he's not made contact with us, and we were there for a week. You'd think, oh, he's dead then. It sucks, but right?
Yeah.
But
And that 5 year gap's important too, because later we get a lot of information about Sam Kirk. Sorry, George Samuel Kirk. 'cause
no one calls
no
him
calls
Sam. No one.
except for Kirk. Yeah. Yeah. He has a wife and 3 kids in a space of 5 years, so he could have met somebody with kids. That's a whole conversation. But
Yep.
anyway,
Yep. I mean, it does feel like the Stranger Worlds writers didn't watch this episode before they made Stranger Worlds, despite mentioning 2 of their characters. It doesn't feel like they actually watched. They just saw the name and what their role is in the show, but didn't look at anything else. Because this man does not act anything like Corby from Stranger Worlds, and this is the Bible that you start with. And this is not an interesting character, right? The guy that always plays it, I get it. The one who gets Stranger Worlds much better across the board, but they didn't even try. There's no hint of it, which is a shame because it just Stranger Worlds lets themselves down by not even caring enough to try and make it consistent, or saying F this, we'll do our own thing, when that's sort of not the point. I don't know, it makes them look worse, unfortunately, from watching the episode, which is a shame.
Yep. Now we got to establish XO3. It's planet. The surface is 100 degrees below zero, which, whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius, they don't clarify, but either way, it's cold.
Yeah.
But their sun is shrinking, has been for millennia. And then Christine says that his last signal talked about finding underground caverns.
So they knew they were there.
And Kirk's like, yeah, but since then, 2 expeditions have failed to find him. So she knew he was there. She knew he was on this planet. 2 expeditions have gone, which she probably wasn't a part of, clearly.
Yep.
So they're trying. And it makes you wonder why he answers this time. It's because he hears Enterprise, and it's like, hey, I was on that ship a few times. I know those people. I'll answer that. Oh, and Christine's there too. Wow, I didn't expect that.
What a bonus.
Were there then, but exactly.
Yeah.
What a savings.
Dear me. Yeah.
But he does finally answer, so.
I mean, it also means they must have communication tech, because they really don't go into any other level of what this society could do. They've obviously got air creation because they're underground. They've obviously got, I guess, power generation and whatever. But they warp space capable. They can also communicate with the ship. Presumably, they must have some sort of jamming tech, or knowing how to hide evidence. Or do you think that a survey team would have detected something? And what was Enterprise trying to find? If all the evidence suggests, were they coming here to see if he was there?
Yes.
even though all the evidence says he's dead and not there.
Well, they're probably in the area.
Yeah.
But we might as well check again.
Yeah.
Because we're near the planet.
Triple check.
We're only ship nearby, obviously.
And then in 5 minutes he says, "Hey, I'm here." It's like, why don't you say?
Yeah.
Why don't you respond to the other two teams?
And Kirk's like, "You might be interested here. We have a board." And he cuts him off and says, "Can you beam down alone, just yourself?"
Yeah.
"We've made discoveries of such a nature that may require an extraordinary decision from you."
Which I do think he's being true about. I don't know if he's going to take no for an answer, but he does want the decision to get made. He thinks he can convince him.
Even Spock's like, "That's kind of a weird request," and Kirk's like, "Yeah, but it's Roger Corby making it. Like,
remember
obviously
the guy you knew. You trust him with Trelane, or not Trelane."
And that, well, yeah. Then it leads right into Spock saying, "You're certain you'd recognize his voice?" Have you ever been engaged, Mr. Spock?
Well, technically, I'm engaged, bitch.
In another reality, we almost got married. I don't know if you remember that though.
And we did that thing, yeah. Yeah, it is, yeah.
But Spock would be like, "Yeah, I also recognize his voice." But where does the Irish accent go? Something's weird. Red flag.
So it's not his
Maybe
accent.
maybe he's got a new body with like new vocal cords or some shit.
Yep. He could Control-Alt-Delete the Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just funny because the episode clearly tells they don't know each other. Clearly.
Yeah. Kirk seems to know more about Roger Corby than Spock does.
Yep.
Yep.
If we do take Strange Worlds into account, which again already proven you can't,
probably shouldn't. Yeah.
Then Corby would know about the Enterprise being a really good ship with a captain who has not leverage, but the thing that people in Starfleet would listen to you about. Influence.
Sway.
There we go.
Influence. Yeah.
But that said, I was going to say 5 years ago there was still an Enterprise, so I suppose he wouldn't have really good sensors or knowledge of the Enterprises per se, but there was an April, there was a Pike, so he would know that the ship helped stop the Klingon War from many years ago. That So I guess it makes sense. What does God do with the Starship? They want a good ship with a good captain that can make a better case rather than a random cargo ship that isn't very fast. But it's also just because story, right? Just because story.
But then she says, "Roger, it's me. I'm here." And he's like, "Oh my God, yes, by all means, Captain. I had no idea, no hope. Bring her down with you." And then you got these two weirdos on the back of the bridge. Oh, that's so cute. So when they leave the bridge, Uhura is like, "Oh, that's so sweet." Gives her a kiss, and like, Uhura has that, "Oh my God, love, springs eternal" kind of look.
Go get your man that you haven't seen in 5 years. He's probably space crazy.
And who's neglected you and not bothered to try to contact you.
And you technically cheated on him a few weeks ago with Spock, kind of. Sort of. I mean, under the influence, but she wasn't engaged then. Because they hadn't written it yet, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And then they
don't see a ring, so no engagement. No fun.
That is true. Hey.
What's the future? They might not. That's an archaic ritual. They might not do that anymore. But
they beam down, and I do. It's the most meaningless joke, but I like the fact that oh wow, we're going to an ice planet. No, it's a window because we're going to the inside of an ice planet. What a weird gag. It's like okay, cool. There's some tech here, kind of. It's got a window.
Although and this made me think of something instantly. I'm thinking Star Trek 2. They get the jackets, right? Why in Star Trek and TOS especially they never beam down with any specialized gear? I understand that the uniforms are supposed to be like thermally regulated and like fancy, but you'd think you'd take something just in case. Or are they going to have a same situation you had with Sulu months ago? It's like, oh yeah, the caves, we had to leave the caves, and now we're going to freeze to death because transporters don't work, and we still don't have shuttles. Still have not seen a shuttle yet.
You know what I mean?
Like, take down extra equipment.
Just don't think about it.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. What the fuck?
I think that is your fault. But also, they've got very, very good scanners, right? They would know it's safe.
Yeah, I know. But shit happens. You might have to leave the caves for some reason because there's giant robots that are trying to kill you. And what? And even the point where it's like,
be serious, Joe. Doing a Trek review. Be serious.
Right? There's no one here. Well, we might have hit the wrong entry point. No, you absolutely did not. But otherwise, like, the caves are pretty vast. It could just take them a while to get here.
We did beam down pretty quickly. Yeah, I got because I was interested the whole time of what Corby was really doing and not doing. When we see him in a minute, there's no sense of he was rushing to meet them. So did he just not? Is he not trying to meet them?
I don't know. That's the thing.
He's not there, and he's not going there.
Walks in the room. Christine is technically between him and Kirk. Walks in, looks at Kirk, and then like, oh, Christine. That'd be the first thing you look at when you walk through the door. But that's whatever.
Like, I'm fine if the assistant goes to get them, and I suppose that's what we're saying. But there's disconnect of.
Yeah.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
Especially if this is the Desert beaming coordinates. But
since it's a weird situation, Kirk orders 2 security guards to come down,
which is great.
Says Matthews, come with me. The other guys stay up there. Yeah, Matthews doesn't last long. Looks like a nice guy too. Shame.
Yeah, they both have gentle acting. I like it. These big big strong lads. This is a great moment of the lighting in this episode is so stylized. It's often bad in my opinion. Not bad in terms of poorly done, just so obtuse and just really. In this scene, Christine, there's like 4 spotlights and 4 sets of shadows. They're underground in a cave. Yes, it's designed for people, but there aren't 4 bright spotlights in the wall and coloured lights. You just wouldn't have. You'd have a nice, gentle, chill light. They just want really stylized lighting at the loss of.
It's alien rock with bioluminescence. You don't even know.
I don't. But I don't need 6 shadows in every scene.
I know.
And it is very obnoxious. Then you get a too long walk around, which is not particularly engaging. You get an abrasive upskirt. I mean, my God, they are not even hiding the pervacious snake. Well, it's fine. They're prepared,
It's not underwear. It's part of the uniform.
I know.
There, so it's not a big deal to show it. You see, the Uhura is quite.
I know. It's just a bit funny to like, well, that woman's got tiny. Oh, there we go. I also love how the security man barely twitches when I'm almost falling. That's his one job, is to protect, and he doesn't lunge or try and protect her. I'm just saying.
He was quite far behind them though when that happened.
But he's trained for this shit. Anything involves protection, he'd be something. And the actor wasn't. The actor's just some guy, right? There's no training. I would expect it's something. It's just amusing when you watch it the second time, like he's not doing his job.
Yeah. And then dramatic Dr. Brown entrance.
Yes, more spotlights. Very Star Trek 2. At the start with Kirk. Backlit and then hello. Does have the phaser though that Kirk's got type Mark 1, which I like.
Yeah.
He just swaps a light switch, which I find so humorous. Why is there a spotlight control at the point? I guess he picked that location because he knew that it'd be dramatic. Because what?
Well, I mean, when you're exploring caves and stuff, you set up huge spotlights, but yeah, they're wired into the wall. I mean, they've been there for 5 years, but whatever. It could be from the alien tech. We don't even know.
I mean, they don't need to sleep or eat, so I guess they've got free time, haven't they? And we don't hear Ruck coming and killing the guy. He just sort of falls, and then they don't see Ruck walk away either. He's not subtle, You'd think they'd see him out of peripheral vision.
Yeah. And Kirk's like, is there a path down there? Any kind of ledges? Nope, there's no hope, Captain. It's bottomless. I assure you, he's quite dead. It's like, okay, well, something. Oh my God. Yeah, unfortunate. Terribly unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate this Dr. Brown guy, man. He definitely gives off creep vibes since moment 1. And also, it's like, oh, Christine. Yes, of course. Like, what?
Well, it's well done in that she asks a question. He answers.
Yeah.
And you can when you know it's like he's going back into the data banks of his poorly cloned brain to find the basic information. All he has and uses it. He's recalling the information.
Yeah, because she says, "Don't you recognize me?" And he's like, "Ah, yes, Christine."
Yeah.
Like, wow.
But that's the thing. It's a good hint because he's not talking or moving like a human.
Yeah.
Which works. He's for what he's doing. He's nailing it. He's not flat, but he's empty. Ooh,
Yeah.
there we go. And again, when you know the storyline, he's not lying. He gives a genuine, useful backstory of the planet, what they're doing. There's no lie. Omission is not a lie in the scene, as in this story, because they're building up stuff. But yeah, he just tells them some truth, and it's like, okay, cool. But it doesn't help that the security gets murdered straight away to kind of set the scene. It's like, oh, that's what we're doing. We're doing drama here.
Anyway, he's going to take them to Dr. Corby, and Kirk says, "You know him really well, right?" "Yeah, he's an old friend."
Mm-hmm.
"But I suppose living here for 5 years, like red flag, red flag."
Can change any accent.
Yeah, it's true.
Canon.
I love how Kirk gives Rayburn, the other security guard, instructions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we lost Matthews, but basically, we're going to check in with you every hour. You check in with the ship. Have Spock get a security detail ready. If they don't hear from us on an hourly mark, he's supposed to beam down the security team, and that's great to pass on that message. And I get that Kirk's probably deeper into the caverns, so he can't talk to the ship directly, whereas this guy's right near the entrance, so he has access. But he doesn't get a chance to do that because Rock immediately takes him out. So that message doesn't get passed along, which Kirk doesn't find out till a little bit, well, soon enough. But yeah, I like that. I really do like that.
It's effective to let this, because it gives, in terms of me watching the first time, it gave me the internal clock of, okay, 1 hour until Kirk's going to notice. That's a clock, right? 1 hour of just chill time. But as we know later, this is entirely this android going rogue, right? He decides that they should get killed because they're a problem. But as we doubly learn later, Corby's not human. So this is the first of those pesky, disgusting humanoids that's been around for a long time. So F these guys, just let's kill them.
Yeah.
But Corby would not have been okay with it, and he isn't later. But yeah, talk about sentience. He's gone a murder spree straight from the out.
They do make a point of saying that this proves Dr. Corby's theory that when people are free to live and do their thing, that's great. But they got forced underground, and they've turned to a more mechanistic culture, and we've been able to capitalize on that with the advancements they made to maybe help the galaxy as a whole.
I mean, the colored bulb technology alone is going to change everything.
The cardboard technology?
No, the colored bulb technology.
Oh, okay.
Because they've nailed that shit. You know, they are rolling in colored bulbs. We've discovered 9 more shades of purple. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Like I say, it's true. Everything here is real, so it's nice to. So it's a fun setting up the scene-ness. And it gives at least the guy a scene to say things, otherwise he gets killed so quickly, right? That it's like, oh, he's gone. But at least he gets some acting. You know? Some acting.
They get led into a room. We meet Andrea. I think it's Andrea, actually.
Are we trying to infer that all of the stuff in this room is from the planet? Because that looks like standard wooden chairs.
No, I would assume that's the stuff that Roger Corby had with his research expedition.
Right. Before or after they died of cold?
Don't know. Don't ask too many questions.
Yeah.
I love how right away Christine's like super jealous. I don't remember Dr. Corby mentioning Andrea.
And look at her lack of bra. It's crazy.
I never even noticed. What are you talking
She's
about?
perkier than me. In fact, very pretty lady and very good actress. There's a particular scene when every half second she's using a facial muscle to act, and and it doesn't feel like she's putting it on. She literally is, but she's like stand out in terms of small stuff. Really, really good.
And Corby comes in, starts talking to Kirk, and look at the placement of this. You would have noticed Chapel first.
That's embarrassing. Yeah,
it
is. Here's the phone. It's like, Kirk! Oh, Chris. There's a scene later on where she's talking to Andrea, and then all of a sudden Corby walks in, but he hasn't walked in, he's already there. And it's like, but you talk about Corby, and he's just there. Or, you'd hit. Yeah. You kind of feel there's. I said to my dad, actually, who loves this episode, this is more of a stage play than we've had previously. There's less sets, they're more constructed, and they don't feel 360. Like, you can tell they're shooting at the bits that exist, so it's the most play-based one that we've had so far, which I don't think works to its benefit. Not necessarily negatively, per se, but it doesn't elevate. But yeah, look at this exchange of bodily fluids. I mean, I would assume that she's found someone new by now, and this is, you know, something. Don't know. But no, it's very intense.
Well, this kind of leans into the thing that they're still technically engaged as well. So
pretty intense. We'll see what Strange New Worlds does, because there we go.
I want to meet Dr. Brown in Strange New Worlds before they leave on this assignment. Because every episode with Corby, I'm like, are they going to XO3 now?
Yeah.
And he keeps saying he's going to go do more exploring and research. And I keep waiting for the planet name. So
I feel I should make him Welsh or something. Just double down, you know?
Yeah.
And this one's now French Canadian, eh? Oh, I'm the assistant, eh? It's like, oh yes, me and my. It's like, what? And I meet that Andrew, and she's freaking Israeli or something. It's like, well, this is a ethnic cast of people. And cut to you, it's like, oh, we're all English or all American now. I do think though, every actor in this episode knows what they are from second one. So watching Ruck and watching Andrea, whatever her name is, you can pick up, like, is this first which is looking at them embrace? Is that her face thinking, is this love?
Yeah.
That there's some, you can see there's something, and Ruck has often faces of fuck this, just passively as a background actor, which is great. Because they're actually doing stuff in the scene, so it's fun to see what people are thinking, because there's more going on than just, I'm here.
Yeah. But Corby gets the news that one of Kirk's men died from Brown, and Corby's like, oh my god, if I had been there, I know the passage just so well.
And it feels genuine. I don't think he's assassination, you know?
Yeah. And then Kirk's like, I gotta go check in with my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need any cargo or special needs or anything? And then there's no answer from Rayburn, so.
Yeah. He did, Jim. He did.
Then Brown pointing a phaser at him.
Oh, a laser. Sorry.
No. Perfect.
I'd be interested to see when the last time we see the cage laser is, because it's really good to see it.
It does crop up from time to time.
Yeah. Should have been the Strange World phaser, really.
Yeah.
I was a bit taken aback, though, both times how quick this turn is. Especially given how much Corby is like, we'll let's work together. I'm assuming it's because this other android's a bit shit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Corby's probably like, you fucker.
Yeah.
A little too soon for that.
Yeah.
But he does make a point of saying it's imperative that no one else beams down because they wouldn't understand. They'd have to report. And I want to convince you first.
At least I understand Corby. You know, if some world leader was about to be assassinated and you knew that you had to convince them, and that was the only important thing, then what steps would you take to make sure the bigger thing was worth it? So if he's thinking, I could save everybody, and, you know, I can understand why he's been, this is not worth risking. You know, once I convince you, it's fine.
Then he orders Andrea to get Kirk, and Kirk like takes her hostage. And then I love how he throws her away and rolls. Does the rolling help? And then takes out Brown with the phaser. Yeah. Interesting scene.
And then Ruck appears and barely fits through the doors. A bit surprised by this, though. My assumption was that he sends Andrea, whatever her name is, to grab, because she's stronger, because she's an android, but she's stopped so easily by Kirk that it feels like nothing. So I'm not sure what the point of that was. And then also, his gun is set to kill. Sorry, his phaser gun is set to kill. Kill.
No, it's set for melt plastic.
Well, maybe. It's just a bit surprising.
The wound in Brown is a little bit.
It's dramatic, though. It is dramatic. And I really like the stunt with Kirk getting lifted. It's a bit rushed, but I can't see the wire. And Shatner's.
Oh yeah.
Shatner's like, oh god, like, it's tall guy. It works. It actually works really well.
Yeah, he gets like owned.
Yeah.
And then we get a close up on the Enterprise of one of the speakers on her station, and you can see in the remastered the wood underneath, not painted, not
Huh.
cut properly.
You mean space surface.
Yeah. But I do like this with Ruck impersonating Kirk, and Spock's like, "Are you all right, Captain? You sound a little tired."
Harsh. Thanks, Spock. Appreciate you.
Also, Corby saying, "Don't cry out, or Rock will hurt you." That would be picked up by the communicator, my friend.
Yep. 100%.
Small thing.
I mean, he doesn't know they've changed design since he last saw them.
Yep.
Look, when he was Irish, he was much smarter, okay?
Sure.
It is amusing, though. This is where the 60s mindset comes in, because the fact that this entire scene is about, wow, Rock is so advanced he can mimic voices.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the computer on the Enterprise being able to do that any second of any day. It wouldn't even be 1 minute to make it do that. But that's oh. Now I will say though, Rock, excellent lip sync. They do a super good job. All TV shows suffer this sort of thing, but every time is a really good job at matching with various actors. They did really.
There's a moment where you see Rock talking in Kirk's voice, and Kirk's sitting in the foreground facing him. I'm wondering if Kirk is just saying the lines, or if they dubbed it in later. Like, because you could easily just have him saying the thing, and right. But anyway,
well, it depends. Do you let the actor deliver performance, or do you let the alien? My assumption is that Ruck delivered it first, and then they asked Shatner to come in and ADR so it matched. Because it isn't.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be Kirk's portrayal. It's meant to be pretending. So I assume it would be that way. But it's really, really good job in lip syncing. It's difficult to do.
AC Costello says, "I'm really glad you guys are doing the breakdown reviews of all of the TOS episodes." Well, thank you. It is the 60th. We thought we'd do something special. If you really appreciate it, if you can support in some way by super chatting your scores, reviews, whatever, or PayPal, or send us a PayPal. These tend to get a lot less than a lot of our other lives, so
it's
we'd like to keep doing them. So if you can support in any way, we'd appreciate that.
Yeah, it's not the best it's not the best for the channel to do these, but we want to do them for you guys.
And for us, we enjoy these.
We do
learn things.
We really do, but we also got to eat.
What?
We're not Android. See, we haven't gone to the planet yet. We've just seen it on episode of TV.
And then, so Ruck goes through and does Andrea's voice, and then Christine's, and Corby's like, "You must not mock Christine. You will never harm her." And here's Kirk playing chess, like right away, or disobey an order from her. It's a big stretch to have Corby add that, but Corby does and says, "Oh, you'll never disobey her orders." Good. It's going to come in handy later. Just saying.
You say that though, but does it do anything?
It does.
Because I was surprised.
She's yelling, "Ruck, don't harm him," and yeah, Ruck still gets him, but then he's captured, and Kirk even says, "Did Christine's order to not hurt me bother you?" So yeah.
Yes and no, though. I assume that the Corby, I want to use him to get into Starfleet, would override, as in then letting him get killed. But I was expecting any sort of Christine's order. You know, that I think they've set up that as a plot here, but they don't really do anything with it particularly, because already, like, well then, who is he going to follow? The man who programmed him, or the man who the program man told him to follow? But Christine is a very wet fish in this episode. She has no agency. Especially as I haven't seen her in 5 years, and she's not. Unfortunately, she's very 60s of this. But I assume Magellan's happy to be there. Like, she's got a character, you get a vibe of who she is, but it's not her best work by any means.
Yeah.
But good scene. I like Corby some, because he's not a bad guy. And texturally, yeah. But this sort of thing does make me appreciate how good Daystrom was, the actor. That chap, just excellent, you know? This guy does something special, but doesn't do it to that level, right?
Yeah. And Sylvia's in the chat, says, "Hello, my sweet captain." Hello, sweetie.
Hello. Greetings.
Everybody say hello to the Admiral.
Yes. Then you have
this... Yeah, then Corby goes through and says, "So what would be the first thing you do when you return to your vessel?"
Yeah.
"File a report."
Yes.
"It'll lead to superstition, ignorance, layman's inability to understand." So
yeah, he thinks he's doing the right thing. Yeah. Then you have the second very obnoxious lighting joke, which is for some reason a giant spotlight against this door, or 2 spotlights, and then he grabs him, throws him against another thing, and there's like 7 shadows, and it just looks awful. I don't know what they were thinking.
Well, before that though, they established that the old ones have been dead for like centuries, so long that even Ruck doesn't remember how long they've been gone. But yes, yeah, and I think, like I said earlier, this is very much like Hammer horror kind of lighting, which is probably a thing because this is a very Frankenstein type character, and the way he like stalks him. So it's
not one to one though.
That they did that. No, but it's probably deliberate they did that to make it seem more creepy and off-putting. So,
and that's when, you know, stylized is important because they can do it cheaply. I just think it diminishes the quality of the piece now. Overall.
Yeah.
That's me.
We get the Christine and Andrea scene.
Better on second watch.
Yeah. She asks if she's concerned about the captain. Why don't you look happy? You're reunited with Roger.
It's a good question.
Yeah. And then how can you love Roger without trust? It's like she's getting, and the way she's talking to her, it's like she's trying to get information of how she should act around Roger.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe.
Because she's like trying to get information, right? Why does it bother you that I use the name Roger? And then Roger's like, just it's sufficient that it does bother her. You'll from now on you'll call me Dr. Corby.
Yes, Dr.
I love
Corby.
that line actually. Yeah.
Yes, it for what they don't explain, which is a lot. Those questions make you wonder because you could, I think, pretty easily argue that she does fancy Corby in whatever way the robot brain that she's got can. But also you could argue she really doesn't. I think there's absolutely evidence for both. And so, as you say, well, why are you doing this thing? This is what I want. This is what we've got. You're here.
Yeah.
Why are you so dismissive? That said, of course, it is odd Christine isn't really engaging. You'd think if you any other Star Trek, right? If you had this exact thing,
she's engaged.
Well, exactly. In any other situation in Trek, you'd say, "Oh, work that angle, Christine. You can maybe convince him and learn about what he's doing." But she's not acted off in the story to do anything really meaningfully.
Yeah, Chuck Jones says, "Why did Corby make his female android to look like not make the android not look like Christine if he was in love with her?" Well, my thinking is that
wait,
Andrea,
with who? What?
Christine. Why do you make it look like Christine instead of Andrea? My thinking is that Andrea was part of the team. Him and Dr. Corby and Dr. Brown, and they got another person to come along for the expedition, which is Andrea, which he didn't tell Christine about deliberately, or just an off the cuff, didn't think of it because it's not important. And then she was the first one that died or was dying that they changed into an android. That'd be my thought.
Yeah, I think I'll and watch the edited review when that comes out for the interesting about that. But yeah, I think the way that Corby presents himself here, I mean, obviously he changed after he became an android. Absolutely important to note. But the way he projects this episode is, I don't want to copy, I don't want to mimic, I want to recreate my real fiance.
Well, he didn't have her engrams either, so it would have just looked like her and been totally blank.
But if you knew we stuck there for years, make a sex doll, you could argue. But I think it's clear he did respect her too much to do that. I don't think he was doing anything with Andrea anyway. So it is exactly the surface level that it is. I think that they are created fresh androids and they run out of resources or whatever. I think that's slightly more
like. It would
like
make sense too if the person, there was an Andrea with them who did have feelings for Dr. Corby, never express them, and those got transferred over to the android. That's why this android is kind of like later with the kiss and stuff, kind of conflicted.
That would have been, yeah.
And maybe that's why she's looking for more information about, because sure, you got turned, so you join his expedition, you got the hots for him, you don't tell him, you die, you put into an android body, but he keeps talking about his fucking fiance, probably even
that white-haired bitch, yeah.
Before he died. And So that's all you've heard. And now that she's here, you're like, why? What is so interesting about her? How can I make him feel the
My
same way
breasts are
about
much
me?
more pointy.
Exactly. Speaking of breasts, we have a PayPal from AC Costello.
Oh, good to see
Who was the
you.
one that said he enjoyed us doing
Oh,
these, so we appreciate that.
there you go.
Goes in $20 PayPal, so thank you.
Thank you.
Says, because even command crew gotta eat. Thanks for showing love for the OG Trek episodes. Live long and prosper, Trekyards. Thank you, AC Costello. You are
Gosh,
a superstar.
if 10 of you could do in a $5 for that exact message, that'd be golden. That's perfect. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. And PayPal's way better for us. So just
Yeah, a lot less goes a lot further. You guys know. You guys know.
But this is where Corby's like, I just need to have you guys understand before you go back to your ship. I'm going to show you some things. He goes, now I'm going to start with Andrea. Christine. Yes, let's start with Andrea.
Yeah. And this is the bit where they're in the same room, even though they don't know they're there and they're not hearing them. Terrible editing of like, what? You're outside the room. You would see them. Daft.
She says, I'm like Dr. Brown, an android.
Dum, dum, dum! The music blares.
Didn't
like,
you know?
Calm down, music. You're too intense there. Calm down.
And Corby's like, remarkable, isn't she? The different pigmentations, the skin tones, and a pulse. How convenient. I love the snarkiness of Chapel, but it's not overly emotional. It's very clinical. Very like,
yeah.
How convenient. Have you loved her? Yeah, because he says Andrew's like a computer. She has no feelings. She can't love. It does only what I program it. It's like, that's not better. That's actually kind of worse.
It's actually a very well written little scene.
Yeah, and she calls her a mechanical geisha.
Yep.
Which is great.
Gosh, who knew what geishas were in the 60s? Right? Who had books on Japan in their houses in the 60s?
A lot of people.
Really?
That's when Shogun was written and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you think I could love a machine? Did you? You put a little bit more inflection on those, it turns it into a different conversation. But yeah, it's great.
No, I think this is where I would assume that Majel has a certain confidence in her not being fired.
Yeah.
So she probably said to the director, yeah, this line, when I say love, I mean sex. I'm going full out on this, and it comes across in such a strong, wonderful way. But his interplay is so great because he's not thinking that. But I took it as he got her meaning. He's reassuring her with the science of it. But she's like, but you still made a sex doll, probably. He's like, no.
Yeah.
But they're not talking across ways. They know exactly.
Yeah.
If they know each other well, it should be they know how to talk. But the audience sees the allegory. It's very well played by actors.
See, the problem is, Majel Barrett and Gene Roddenberry had this exact same conversation like 10 minutes prior because Gene Roddenberry slept with the Andrea actor to get her on the show. And she found out. So this is it's just transferred over. It's fine.
Is that a joke or not? I assume that's a joke.
Probably.
Uh-huh.
He was known to be a ladies' man, and a lot of the guest stars on the show,
Was he married to Majel yet? Because I thought they weren't married until.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah, I thought he was dating various people.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is where Corby's like, I'll prove it. Andrea, kiss Kirk. Now strike him. See, there's no feeling in it, no emotion. It's like, okay, well.
Doesn't prove a damn thing, because people like slaps.
Some people, yeah.
I mean, obviously. But her acting in it is fantastic, the android lady, because she's not emotionless, but she's not emotion-filled.
Yeah.
It's very, like, she could 100% be a recurring guest star android on the Enterprise, as if they, picked her up, like Data. And there's a lot of depth you could do there. No, it's great, but I definitely think Corby's not thinking dirty. He's thinking very technical and logical and
Corby even says they have no emotion. Kirk's like, what about Brown? Why did he try to kill me? Why did kill my officers?
I didn't catch the first time, but
if they only do what you program them to do, that's why he says there's a lot of things I don't understand, Dr. Corby.
Yep. And it's a great tease. But also now, when he's an android, again, which android of which ability set? Because if you can just program Andrea without a sentient or own thing, then it's hard to believe that she was a cloned person. Because Corby has his own self-awareness. But then, you know what I mean? So many questions. Yeah. Well,
like I said, I like to think Andrea was the first one, and it's very much not a lot transferred over. And then they tried more with Brown, and then Corby.
Wouldn't you
finally
feel
got it
bad
right with
just
himself.
to order the blank slate person who you saved from death, blah, blah, blah? Wouldn't you feel bad?
No, not if I think his intentions were probably pure. If he was the first one that was dying,
Yeah.
he's like, we've learned enough about this equipment that we can maybe try to save her. And then it turns out she's her, but she's a blank slate. She's not.
Because he
her.
doesn't think of her as a person in any way, right? So, I mean, it's been 5 years. He knows that she's a blank slate, like you say. But he treats her like a nothing. Oh, yeah, a lackey, right? There's not much thought put in. And then you get the showing them what's going on with a really cool dummy. I like the
With no legs.
Yeah, I like the squidgy factor.
Yeah. But yeah, we get the funky turntable. I want to see the scene where they got Kirk naked. Like, get out of your clothes.
Don't look,
Rock's,
Chapel.
like tearing the shit off of him.
Well, yeah, because the clothes aren't destroyed because they put them in a minute, right?
Yeah.
This scene works fine. I just wish it was 2 or 3 minutes shorter.
Yeah, it's a filler because it's like the story didn't quite have enough for the episode length. Maybe.
Well, it infers an effect is happening, right? As if there's 2 bodies and like one is being like with CG, you could make this a workable scene with some scale. You know, for example, one of the holograms in Voyager, like the EMH, when it goes from the innards outer, you know, a form is formed. That said, very hairless Shatner, very thin hairless Shatner. You know, there we go. That's his physique from TOS. He's great, and he is.
Well, he had to shave. Actually, the Andrea actress said in interviews later that Gene Roddenberry made him shave for this, and Shatner was complaining the entire time that they were filming that his chest was itchy.
Yeah, I mean it's bold and hairless. I do find it funny though that for whatever reason, Shatner, there's a clear head position in the table, and he's off on the side of it.
Because it's spinning.
Yeah, but not at the start of the scene. I just find it odd because you think as the actor you'd place yourself in the middle, and it's not going that fast. It's not going enough momentum to push you. I don't know. I just find it odd. Like you'd be central. It's just a small like OCD of me, but I don't know.
And some dial turning happens, and you know, so they got an exact replica physically, and then now watch this. We can transfer the pattern of his thoughts to sync up with the body, and he'll have the same kind of memories as Kirk, same kind of ideals. That's where Kirk's like, "Sick of your half-breed interference, Mr. Spock."
Out of nowhere.
Well, and it's like you said, it's a stretch to assume that this advanced machine that can do this, copy your neural pathways, is going to be fooled by you thinking one thing at the particular time it happens. But, you know, it was a gamble. Kirk's a gambler. It was another chess move here that he's moving just to see. And it does pay off, thankfully.
Well, because he is incredibly powerless in this episode. But as you say, he's playing the game. He's seeing what, you know. I think he can tell that he's not in mortal danger. He's just in situational danger, right? So playing the game. But also
his reaction laying there where they're saying they're going to sync things up, and he's like, "Huh." Gives him a second to think, right?
I love how absolutely effortless this is. This tech's, I assume, the most advanced we see in TOS of this form, because this just does it, right? Yeah, we'll clone him. And, I mean, I like the fake Kirk. It kind of... Another Shatner where there is Kirkisms, but he's also more vapid, which is what it is, right? It's good.
Yeah. We get the most disgusting food ever.
Yeah.
Beef stew with either fruit cubes or marshmallows that are colored. Good.
Don't eat anything, though, so it's fine.
Doesn't look appealing.
It did amuse me... her line, "I'm also programmed to serve you now."
Attaboy, Corby.
Attaboy, Corby. The threesome I was ordered for later. What? Nothing. I just wish that Chap was a bit more present in these scenes. I know she's a nurse, and in this particular TOS, she feels like a 20-something fresh nurse. Because they also said earlier, or middle, she was a student of Corby. So she's underaged, as in, the implication is they're 10, if not more years older, if not more. She's a fresh officer just on Enterprise, but Stranger Worlds knows she's not fresh, she's not new, she's very experienced, she's very talented. So this version of her is so unbelievably passive. I couldn't imagine the Jess Bush character even doing one scene without getting involved. I mean, she'd be so engaged and stopping, so it doesn't connect well. But Chapel is not a very interesting character, but she's so passive and she's waiting to be saved. But again, you'd think this is your fiance. You play the game, try and get information, try and convince him, try and, I don't know, you know, do something. But no.
I love this conversation though.
Great conversation.
Yeah, you know, if I had to give you an order to betray him, could you? And she's like, you might as well just throw me off that precipice that Matthews fell off of, because don't ask me to make that choice. But he's Roger. You forget how well I know him. He's as sane as you or I, no matter what it looks like he's doing.
Which I do think he's sane. He's just broken sane.
Yes, and I think she's also relieved after 5 years that she's trying to convince herself that it is in fact Roger Corby without any differences.
Yeah,
there's some delusion going on there.
It's true. There's also no evidence to suggest he's a robot, so she's not even contemplating that as an option, right? It's not isn't factored into her brain. I bet if that had been brought up in the narrative, she might have said, right, but she's so thinking on it.
Oh. And then she's like, "Oh, I can't eat." And then there's a really bad ADR line. I don't know if you noticed it.
Oh, I didn't notice that one.
Where her back's to the camera and she's like, "Please go ahead and eat."
Yeah, that was awful. That was the worst one of TOS so far. Yeah.
Yeah, androids don't eat in this chapel. I mean, Kirk's delivery was great, but the ADR line was just shit. I assume there was no line there originally.
Yeah, and they had to. Yeah, exactly.
Because it sounded really bad.
Yeah, it was recorded weeks later, kind of thing, when they were in the edit.
Yeah.
No, it's a really good.
Probably just recorded in her bathroom with June there. I need a line. Here's the tape recorder. Because that's what it sounded like.
Yeah. No, for sure. Which is the same thing. Kurt's captain's log in the middle is notably worse audio than.
I didn't notice that.
Especially as it cuts. It's actually right at the start. It cuts from the voiceover of the captain's log to the interior, and the interior bridge audio, which is the mic is quite far away, is much better than the audio of the captain's log, which is him in a booth recording direct to camera. Mm-hmm. It's like so much better in the real footage. Odd note, it's really very good. And there's a few also audio leveling issues in the episode where the music and sound effects are clearly too high in the mix for the audio of the voice. There's like, you should have done that down by 30%, 40%, or 50%. But no, Kirk's great here. I love how sincere Chapel is, but it works so wonderfully. She's like, I would believe him if he was him, because he is him, and I'm talking to you as if you are you. I'm so good at knowing who people are. Shit, I was wrong on both. Is the payoff, which is it both tells us she's very human, but also she's not as smart as she thinks she is because she missed everything. Which is slightly funny, I like it.
And fantastic split screen here where the other Kirk comes in. I love the real Kirk's like reactions to things that kind of got a smirkness. So he tests this thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's playing.
My brother.
Yeah.
Tell me about your brother, George Samuel Kirk. Only you call him Sam.
Lies.
And I think Well, I'll get to that in a second. He was transferred to Earth Colony 2. It's like, no, he wanted to be transferred, but and they also find out he has a wife and 3 kids.
He got busy.
And I think where, Dr. Corby's like, it's like trying to outthink a calculating machine. And Kirk's like, well, there are a few significant differences. Maybe he knew that the android got it wrong and everybody called him Sam. And Kirk was like, that's wrong.
Okay. Because he remembered being on the Enterprise, everyone calls him Sam.
You could retcon that to be like, because Kirk's very assured at the end. There's several significant differences, or whatever he says.
It's true. Which I didn't really pick up on.
I don't know.
So
small thing.
Well, it's like the ambiguity of I haven't met him since it took on Enterprise. And by that I meant the one training exercise I did. It's totally the same thing. Ha 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 ha. Ambiguity of a very distinct line. Ha ha ha.
His actual real line is, but we do have some interesting differences. Which to glean that from that conversation, the Sam thing obviously sticks out. If you're going to go with everybody calls him Sam, right?
Well, isn't this the first brother mention as well?
Yep.
So it's a huge moment, really.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I ever registered that they'd mentioned him before they see him dead in the show. So I like they set him up.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Don't worry, we're not going to see him. Don't worry, it's fine. He doesn't die or anything. All good.
And his kids don't. Oh. Does that mean all of his kids die on that planet, or are there some out there?
One survives. His nephew survives.
Because they're in
And
the
then
straight.
there's
Yeah.
then there's that fan film that.
Yeah, that's what I was just
focuses on-
thinking. Who's gay?
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Because he had to have
Yeah.
had. Yeah. Okay. Guys, we are over an hour in. We've had one super chat, 2 PayPals to it. There is one. We'd love to get a few more, of course. We're having a great time, but no support is needed. Hopefully we're adding some new conversation pieces and discussing it. Because, yeah, great split screens, great timings. And the PayPal says...
Jeff Jacobs,
Oh.
569 says, just putting in my vote for keeping TOS going. And PayPal is better for me too, as I get 280 characters exactly.
Yeah.
No matter how much I spend, so I can really flesh out my thoughts.
Yes.
So make sure you are hitting that like and subscribing to Captain
Yes.
Foley's personal channel.
Yes.
Lots of stuff there. Thank
Yes.
you, Jeff.
100%. Appreciate it. And then Kirk leaves. And this is funny when you watch it knowing, especially with Sam Witwer's conversation with him. You have Shatner walking away from Shatner. But then you have
that doesn't walk like Shatner.
Then you cut to Stand-In, who looks nothing like Shatner.
Yeah.
It's so visible. It just says Stand-In.
Even as he's walking away, he kind of does a head look to the side of the room to like look at something, and it just none of it feels like Kirk.
No. The build isn't the same either, but physically he feels so loose. Sam Witwer said Kirk is so what was the phrase he used? Intentional in his movements.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's really distracting the second time. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
no, they didn't.
I noticed it the first time, actually. It kind of bugged me, but whatever.
Yeah.
But honestly, them sitting side by side at the table,
Mhm.
beautifully done.
Mhm.
And then for the one Kirk to get up and turn around and then cut to this,
Mhm.
brilliantly done. I
Mhm.
just wish that the stand-in would have done a better job. Yeah. And there's no seam line between them either at the table, which is fantastic.
It was probably remastered, improved a little bit. The cleanup was probably done in remaster, because you would think.
I'm
But
going to take a look now that you said that.
yeah, please do. Well, I took that rope. And then the chair is so weird and old that he's able to undo support rope that isn't needed to then garrote a robot who doesn't need breath.
He doesn't know that.
But we know that as the audience, and Corby knows that. So are we saying that he has got robot lungs? Because otherwise, you know, the scene has to. The show knows what it's doing because there's loads of hints, right? So, and he keeps choking after. So there is some. Even though they are not biological robots. They are robots. They're androids. They're not. They're more data than organic synth. So I just find that odd. It would have been nice if there was a hint here where he's not hurting him, and they just don't want to damage the body. Not, but it's odd that they don't play into that at all.
Yeah, looking at the original, yeah, there's no line between them. The remaster didn't clean anything up.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really well done. Anyway, yeah, I think Corby might have still been putting on the illusion that he was in fact human still. Maybe. Or maybe they're just not powerful androids. The only one that's powerful is Ruck because
100%. Yeah.
Size. Because Andrea, again, Kirk overpowered her too.
Mm-hmm. But I just meant, why is he reacting as if he's running out of breath? That's what I'm saying. That should not damage him in any way because he doesn't have lungs. Well, exactly. It's interesting, right? We're trying to trick the audience.
Cutting off the main energy flow to his cerebral processor.
Sure. That's what I'm saying. But that's what's interesting about it. It's telling you something without telling you something, or not.
Well, the thing that got me with that scene in particular was Ruck.
Yeah.
Because Kirk's like, stand back, Ruck, or I'll kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruck would know, and Ruck backs off without an order from Corby.
Mm.
So is it possible to kill the android choking it out? Because Ruck wouldn't have backed off because he knows that Corby's an android and couldn't be hurt in that way. I don't know. It is odd. It's for the audience's sake.
Yeah.
To keep the illusion and the surprise alive.
Yeah.
What does Kirk plan to do, by the way? He takes off and runs down the hallway.
Yep.
And Corby, who's coughing and choking still, says, Ruck, protect, which is a very do whatever you need to protect.
Yeah, very generic order there.
Yeah. And Christine just runs after him. It's like, no, Ruck, don't. You have to obey my orders.
Come
But
back.
you can hear in the background, so Ruck can't hear. So he did get the order, but he's still kind of. Anyway, it's fine. You are to obey me, she says.
And then we get a sort of chase, which is confusing in a few ways. The sets are okay here. It's just you can tell they've reached the end of the amount of set they have. And so it kind of feels small. And I'll see what you think here. I'm pretty convinced.
Beam in point.
Yeah, I know.
As well.
I know. Well, it isn't literally, but it's the same set.
Yeah.
I'm pretty convinced here that so Ruck finds him fine, doesn't know he's there because he hasn't got super hearing, which is interesting. Always would know he's there, he'd hear the heartbeat or whatever. You know, because Data can hear you from across the play. The fact that Kirk thinks pulling a stalag, whatever, will not get him alerted seems absurd, but I mean, better than nothing, I guess. But then, when Ruck goes Chapel voice, I read the second time that Shatner is like, "That's Ruck, that's the ploy."
He knows it's Ruck. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's waiting to bash his head in. First time it sort of reads as I think you're meant to think as the audience, oh, it's Christine, but then I think the way he frames it as I'm waiting to bash the guy's head in is
absolutely
okay.
Yeah.
Which is why then it makes me
also, that's a big stretch. The big stretch in logic on Kirk's part. Can you actually smash in the head of an android? And no is the answer.
Yeah,
right.
You can phaser it.
Well, he doesn't know he's an android either. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
No, I am more advanced. Don't disrespect me. I'm not like that shit.
The old ones. I want to point out.
Oh,
the stalagmite.
Oh yes, I got. There we go.
Stalactites come from the ceiling. Stalagmites form from the bottom.
And I got the penis still without realizing. You're welcome.
Yeah, you got to wonder if Shatner knew what that looked like from that angle. But the cameramen are there going, we did it on purpose to fuck with them. Get this past the sensors. Good luck. It's pink even.
I also guarantee Shatner didn't know until Phil told him. He did not know first run. Because small screens, like, no one knew until years later, and then told him, 10 years ago I held a penis? Like, that, it was that level of, it didn't come out.
It's just such an off.
And I don't like the fact that he gives it no weight. He touches it like it's polystyrene.
Yeah. Even when it breaks off, you hear, like, it just, styrofoam.
I wish he was trying harder, or they put something in that, because it felt like if he actually had to hold it, it'd have more weight than just, Yeah. And then I really am intrigued by this next bit. So Ruck comes round, he's like, I'm stealthing, yes, and just sidles up. He's so big that as soon as he sidles up to it, you can see him because he's so big. So he's not stealthing in any meaningful way. It's the most awkwardly non-stealth, and he just grabs it and he's like, I win, bitch.
Yeah. And Jeff Jacobs says, how could you not see that? Well, there's many stalactites and stalagmites on the set. They all look the same rough shape. But this one, when it breaks off, has the so Shatner might not have noticed holding it in front of him.
Well, from his angle, it doesn't look like that.
Exactly. He's focusing on everything else.
Yeah.
You gotta know that the cameramen are like snickering behind the fucking
and
camera.
not every take he'll be holding it there with the balls. If that ball area was facing Shatner, it'd just be a tube. Yeah. It's only because of the way he's holding it. I don't think every take he'd do that.
Yeah.
So they happened to do the one take that was in.
Yeah.
But then he gets flung down shaft. You get really good close to the boots.
He tries to smash Rock, but Rock just stops it instantly. So it's just totally ineffective.
Yeah. And there's a really nice. Oh, this is Star Trek 4 or 3. Look at this. This is bloody true. Look at it.
I have had enough of you.
The old ones have enough of you. But I do like. There's absolutely you can realize this actor's face, apart from the fact he's got painted eyebrows, which are super visible in this one shot. Yeah. I love how it's like, you can see he's like, should I just let him die? Maybe. Should I kill him myself? Maybe. Should I save him? Maybe.
But she ordered me to not harm him.
But it would be fun.
And technically he wouldn't be harming him if he just let him fall.
Exactly. You know, that's why it works. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the reason that he's there, because he got pushed, but he's also Ruck was defending himself.
Well, it's the classic Batman excuse. I didn't kill him. The explosive barrel that I shot nearby. Exactly. The fall did, yeah. You know, the internal bleeding from the batarang hit him as a side effect. Yeah. The ricochet killed, not me. The ricochet. But I also think that he's thinking, but Corby wants him for the plan. So I think he's saving him because Corby wants him, not because Christine. That's my take. But yeah.
Yeah. And I love when he pulls him up too, like Shatner, like thrust upward.
Yeah, he's obviously
Really
standing on a ledge and he's doing, but it's fine.
Or he's on like a trample or a seesaw thing, and somebody at the other side pushes it because he gets lunged up.
Well, it would have been cool to have a full wire gag, like pull him like this, hanging.
Yeah.
That would have been effort. I think the set is like this is a different part of the set because anyway, doesn't matter. Back on the Enterprise, I love the hard cut here to now he's on the Enterprise because you would think, you know, Mr. Spock, Captain Kirk's beamed aboard. What? The fact that Spock is so like, what? You never get that as a surprise. I absolutely love Nimoy's choice of acting here. It's really fun. He's like, what? What? As London goes after him. Although this is his quarters, so he's on the captain's crew deck, working on a Jeffries tube, which is definitely not a set ever. That is a whole new set piece, which I love. What is this set? What is happening here? I love it. I should really keep track of the non-normal set pieces, because this is not ever again. It's fantastic. Autonomous crew quarters, I suppose. And then there's Shatner, there's Kirk. It's like, you're back, Jim. You didn't tell me.
Yeah.
The hell?
You're taking a command packet with you? Yeah, I got to talk to Corby about destination schedules and stuff because of. But he's like, mind your own business, Mr. Spock. I'm sick of your half-breed interference. Do you hear?
Only Dr. McCoy talks about that.
And then the real Kirk kicks in and, well, Spock right away is like, I'm very well, Captain. And you look upset, Mr. Spock. Is everything all right up here? Yeah, everything's fine, sir. No problems here.
Yes. What?
And then we cut to a shot from the man trap. Kirk walking down the hallway. You got the high collar on the guy in red and non-regulation pants by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And then the weird kind of get in the turbo lift with the big camera operator. Two-faced.
I mean, hey, sure, right? Why not? Well, it's funny.
And then the next scene of Spock is not. It doesn't look remastered in any stretch of the imagination.
Oh yeah,
the quality is shit.
Well, he's lit it. They've lit it poorly, and it's grainy. Yeah. But no, I really like this little bit. It's an interesting scene because I love the fact that Spock is worried about this, but the fact that Kirk knows his code to get into his secret stash. Is such an effective storytelling. Yeah. Oh, he knows. He's fully in the zone, right? This is he has memories. This is what's happening. I like that bit of little storytelling.
Yeah.
And then we get Corby on the planet with fake Kirk. I like his acting. Oh, we found a great planet. It's just enough resources and we can start our plan. Well, I quite like being Kirk.
Yeah, I felt at home on the Enterprise.
Okay, interesting. Did you now? Are you going to rebel? No. Okay. You're sure.
And then we get one of the scenes that probably piles on with the Kirk being a womanizer thing, but no, he's every time he does that, it's usually for the good of the ship. And here he's trying to escape. He's trying to confuse Andrea with his computer scrambling Kirk logic or illogic, which he does often. But yeah, the whole kiss me, and then he forces himself to kiss her, which confuses her circuitry.
Yes. What is love?
Yeah.
But
I'm not programmed for you, she says.
Which is a very interesting line, because like, oh really? Who are you programmed for? Wink wink. The truth has come out. Hashtag cancel Corby, you know?
And what's the matter, Andrea? You confused? And then she leaves. And then Ruck like stops him at the door.
Not my sister-in-law, sort of. That's right, it kind of is.
And Kirk's like, emotion, Ruck? You disapprove of Miss Chapel's orders to save my life? And then Ruck's like, yeah, to maintain your existence would be illogical. And Kirk starts like questioning why. Can't your memory bank say, figure out that simple equation? What happened to the old ones, Ruck?
Mm-hmm.
This is great. So long ago. Yeah. Machines wanted logic and order and found them frustrated by the illogical, emotional creatures that built them.
Yes.
They grew fearful of us. They began to turn us off. And Kirk says, isn't Corby who's creating the same danger for you all over again? Unlike you, us humans are full of emotions and things that logic can't solve. Yeah, and that's when hold on, what exactly does he say here? Hold on. The danger to you is Corby. I was programmed by Corby. I cannot harm him. The old ones programmed you too, but it became possible to destroy them. And that clicks right away with Rock. He's like, that was the equation. Survival over programming. And he grabs Kirk in a loving embrace, and Kirk's like, oh. Yeah, that's great. It just snaps Rock's logic instantly, which is a ballsy move on Kirk's part, because Rock could have cut him in half here, or ripped him in half. But yeah.
Just doing the poll.
Okay. Guys, hit the like button and make sure you PayPal or Super Chat in. We want to hear your thoughts. 26 likes. Let's get those likes up to 30 because there's 31 of you here. Hit the like button.
No, it's a good set of scenes. It's interesting. And yeah, see him break his programming fully, as if there's layers of his memories he hasn't accessed. Because it's all there. He's not doing anything in particular. It's just making him remember.
And then Corby comes in and walks into a shit show. And Ruck is like, you brought the inferior ones here. So he's not mad at Corby because Corby's a biological, because he's not. It's because of you that these assholes are now here.
Well, he says explicitly, and I love this is teasing for the audience 2 minutes before the scene. You know, we had cleansed ourselves.
Yeah.
So none of us were these bastards. We are all proper synthetics. This was working. You've ruined it. And it's 100% there in the dialogue, and I really appreciate that, because the episode's not holding your hand, but it's there. But I think it's genuinely upsetting is the wrong word. But the carte blanche would kill this guy, who's a standout of the episode, is like, damn, okay. Especially that's genocide. Last remaining person of an ancient race, presumably the only one that knows how to work everything, and all the secret stuff. And Corby doesn't care. Like it's a weird, interesting way of doing it. I mean, greater good, right? Don't hurt me. But he could have just shot his leg off or something. Didn't have to disintegrate him.
Yeah, well, I love that he was like, you saw him fumbling in his pocket when he's trying to still talk to Rock. Like, I don't want to have to do this.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. He waits.
Going for the phaser.
He doesn't linger, but he does try and talk. And then there's a scuffle. I mentally thought, oh, is his hand in the door? And his hand is in the door, so I caught that. Although the punch is terrible, but that's okay. And then we get
this scream. And then I gotta say, the effect on this is pretty good. There's a green one in the middle with a blue thing on it that was pulsing.
See, I hadn't freeze framed this, I hadn't actually seen it. So it is just oh god,
just resistors and shit.
Yeah, or things that go in plugs that fry on purpose if there's too much of a signal. What's that called?
Fuses.
Yeah, it's just fuses, right? But it's a really well done piece of. I mean, I don't like the skin flapping off. That feels like plastic, like properly, baking parchment. But the effect's great, and I really like. Look, Christine, it's easier to fix than a broken hand. I'm still me. And this is now the next. There's a whole episode, right? Everything in the scene is about this. It's a bit long, probably, but this is the whole question of if you clone a person perfectly, are they the person? And this is very advanced for the time. This is proper hardcore stuff. This has been done to death now, but this one is such an original concept at the time. The idea of who are you, what are you, right?
Yeah. Dialogue's great. It's me, Christine. I'm in here. You can't imagine how it was. I was frozen, dying. My legs were gone. I only had my brain between life and death.
Yeah.
And yeah, this can be repaired easier than another man could set a broken finger. I'm still the same as I was before, Christine, perhaps even better.
Yeah.
I'm offering immortality to everyone. Yeah. But then he goes to the buzzer, and there's somebody at the outer junction. Spock and crew have beamed in, and he says, "Go deal with it." And Kirk's like, "Spock must have got my message." He's gonna be pissed at me for saying that, but still,
Worth it. Yeah.
Ruck has been shut off. Get a weapon to deal with it.
This is probably a really unnecessary leap, given what episode considered. Do you think they could make another one of him? Which is why I'm saying shut off, because you could make not a clone, but they've got the building parameters. They've got.
Maybe.
I think that's his intention. I'll just make it. It won't be the same, but think he's thinking that. That's why I'm not saying dead, because he's bring backable.
Possibly, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, shut off was an interesting choice of words. I think it was to dehumanize it, to show that.
But he's also emotive right now. He's pushed, so he would presumably do wording that isn't his norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then she walks out in the hallway with the laser, cage laser, sees the android Kirk. For some reason, assumes it's the real Kirk, even though the real Kirk's wearing the different outfit. She says, "I will kiss you." He's like, "No, it is illogical." So she just like straight up kills him. Damn.
What's funny though is I don't know if I agree with this scene the second time round. Meaning, first time I thought, okay, she thinks it's real Kirk, and killed him because of intruder. But the second I watched, I thought, no, actually, I think she might know he's not him, because she's been sent to go stop the intruders entering the base, not Kirk. So bumping into him doesn't make a lot of sense. Nothing in his body language expresses.
It's just she doesn't think he's an intruder. She knows who it is, I think, but she thinks it's the real Kirk. Unfortunately,
the way she says
she
"kiss
says
me,"
it in a second.
But I think the reaction to him is she shoots him because she the fake him. I think he played both ways, and I think that's quite interesting, because I love that she's shooting her possible.
But she's also ordered to go to the junction, and she immediately shoots him, walks into the next room.
Yeah, which is why I think she's broken her logic, because she's killed her own kind after she thought she could make out with her own kind, because that's not what he asked. Like, everything about it is breaking, which I really like.
Could be her android emotions kicking in.
That's what I'm saying. Overriding, yeah. It's really interesting.
Because she walks into the next room and says, "Kirk freed himself, and I just destroyed him."
And now she's real broken.
Yeah. Because she does say, "I'm not programmed for alarms." That was Ruck's job, essentially. I listened to your instructions, obeyed them as stated. No, you didn't. Because he said, grab a weapon, go to the junction where the intruders are, which, yeah.
Yeah. You don't fuck it up.
And then Kirk's more fucking with the computer logic, says she destroyed the android Corby the same way you killed Ruck.
Yeah.
Is this your perfect world? This is not what Roger Corby would do. He had all things, he had respect for all things, right?
Well, it's the ease at which they kill each other.
Yeah, you're killing each other like humans kill each other, with no more concern than turning off a light.
Yeah, even less.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, test me. Ask me to solve any equate, transmit, and he can't find a way to prove that he's not a machine, essentially.
Yeah, I found that the most interesting bit almost. There's a lot of obnoxious close-ups. They should have done more camera work than they're just faces, right? They're whatever. But the fact that the way I took it both times, in fact, he's realizing as he's trying to say it that of course a robot can do a calculation. That's stupid. So what can he do? Oh shit, I am.
Then he says, "Christine, let me show you. I can prove it." And then he starts yelling. He went to the Captain Kirk School of Acting.
Mhm.
I am Roger Corby. I'm Captain Kirk.
And what happened to the women? But he does try and go against it right until the end. You know, prove to me you're human by giving me the phaser. No, that's my work. You know, it does.
Yeah. He says, prove to me you're Roger Corby. Give me the phaser. If there's any human in you left in you, give it to me. It's a good way to prove it.
How manipulative, Mr. Kirk.
Well, yeah, but
That's not. Yeah.
So he does end up handing over the phaser. Where are we here? Hold on, I gotta find the scene. Oh, and then Andrea comes up to him and want to kiss you.
I want to
You
commend.
cannot love.
I want to commend
You're not human.
before you finish the scene. I want to commend one camera choice. When she enters the scene, it goes from being them two. She walks in, the camera goes around them to focus on everybody, and then for the end of the scene, it does a reverse angle to focus on just them on their side. It's really well done camera work to show the focus shift. Now give the dialogue because that's really important. They've made such a deliberate choice there.
And he's like, you can't love. She's like, well, I love you, kiss. To which she's holding the phaser or the laser, and he puts his hand on it and pulls the trigger, kills them both. Yay, problem solved. Sweet. And Christine breaks down because any last hope is gone now. Must be quite she's gonna need to see a therapist after this, maybe. Although she thought he was dead for a few years probably anyway, so anyway.
And she wasn't giving too much emotion as to he's back.
Yeah.
She was underplaying it for sure. As if she was number one-ing it, you know. Not quite, obviously, but more so. Now, how do you feel about the abruptness of this death? Because both times, like... Oh, for me. How did you take it both times? Because it's pretty abrupt.
I don't know what you mean. It's good. It's good ending. They're both conflicted. He realizes he's not actually Roger Corby at that point. He knows that Andrea can't love because she's a machine. Therefore, he also can't because he's also a machine. Because so he's trying to convince her that you can't love.
Oh, interesting. I thought he was thinking he could love. I would have thought that he was thinking that all these people are doing more emotion I could, but I can't live with being not me.
No, I don't think so. Regardless, the existence needs to end because he realizes that he's gone against what Roger Corby was. And yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. And then Spock instantly finds them. Captain, are you all right? Nurse? Where's Dr. Corby? Dr. Corby was never here. I mean, maybe 5 years ago. Go look for a skeleton with no legs. That's probably him.
Yep. It is dramatic.
And then Chapel decides to stay with the ship.
Which make a point of, which I thought was quite interesting. Give her that moment. It's like, okay, we're doing a thing. Okay, cool. Didn't know she was new to the ship, but I guess there's a thing that's there. Sure.
Yeah. And something bothering you, Mr. Spock? Frankly, I was rather dismayed by your use of the term half-breed, Captain. You must admit, it's an unsophisticated expression. I'll remember that, Mr. Spock, the next time I find myself in a similar situation. Dun, 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 dun.
If only
I love the way TOS episodes end.
Yeah, it's got a coda, hasn't it? If only Mr. McCoy was here to help put his 2 cents and be also rude to me. What? Nothing. Is he rude to Mrs. Spock? No. You would tell me, wouldn't you, Spock? No.
You should have said it's a rather unsophisticated term, you have to admit. Something Dr. McCoy would say.
Yes. Yeah.
You're better than that, Kirk. Yeah.
But it's a very, light. You're better than that. But we assume they must have had a debrief in the meantime, so he knows what's happened and why. You would assume.
Yeah.
And then we have actually I'll say it, the first good space shot. Oh, that's not the last shot. Oh, that's interesting. You've got a different last shot than I have. Ooh, interesting. Because the closing shot I saw was a beautiful one leaving the planet with a blue light behind the ship. Yeah.
What?
I was like, the first good shot of remastered. Okay, that's interesting. I know. Let me go find that. Actually, interactive lighting, not just a generic thing. Huh.
All right, guys, while he's looking for that, I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you guys it's time for your scores.
Mhm.
Super chat in with your scores or PayPal. And like Jacob said, 280 characters in PayPal if you want to give a little review of what you think of this episode. We love reading them. We love
Mhm.
hearing what you guys think. So please do that. And like we said, it does support the channel and helps us out and makes doing these worth it because we love doing them. But it's one of those situations that you need something out of it. You know what I'm saying? So if you can, super chat in your scores or PayPal. I will read those after we give our final reviews and scores. And then if you just want to put in the regular chat, Sam will read those out at the end as well. So
there's 2 TOS remastered versions. Because
ooh.
the one I got whichever folder had them named. I just did a search for the name, right? Whereas the ones you have, they're just in order of numbers. Let me
Hold on. I also have another set of remasters that don't have subtitles, which is why I have these ones.
Can I just load it in? Sure, it's smart enough to do that. It is great. So that's my closing shot that I watched, which is like a good shot. Finally, a good shot. That's far more interesting. What do you guys remember? Because that's actually a good shot. Bit dramatic, but that's better across the board. Same episode, right?
Yeah, it is a bit of a better shot.
Yeah. So yeah, guys, $5, $10, whatever. 150 be ideal. Let us know
That
what you
shot was
think.
there. That was before that was in mine as well that I sent you. That's right after we come from the planet up to the ship. That's the transition scene.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah,
Right,
that
okay.
is
Much better shot
what
though.
are little girls made of? Yeah, it is a nice shot.
Yeah. All right, Stuart, give me your thoughts and has our discussion changed or not changed your opinion? Because this will be a pretty, in-depth chat combined with our edited review when that comes out. It's chat. So what are you thinking? How are you feeling? And it is fair to say that there's not plot holes, but there's plot gaps.
Yeah.
What do you think, Stuart?
Well, I do really like the two Kirks thing. I think that's very well done. So kudos for that. Acting overall was really good from everybody. Christine had that like coldness, as the jealousy. There's a whole bunch going on with her character. Kirk, like I said, playing chess since almost minute one, kind of setting things up for later. Fantastic captainy thing to do. Ruck was fantastic. Let's be honest. Uh, and Corby, I never liked Corby, and then they put Corby in Strange New Worlds, and I really like the character now. So this is kind of more hard to watch in a way because it's like, poor guy, and to know how his fate, freezing to death, loses his legs to like frostbite. That's really brutal. But overall, I mean, if our review went by so much quicker, then it felt like the episode. The episode, there's a lot in it, but at the same time, I don't know. Something about the pacing just feels really weird to me, and I kind of wait for the Ruck moments because I love those. But I don't know if it's there's a lot of dialogue that kind of repeats itself. Like, if only I could show you. I don't mean to replace you. I want to impress you. Oh, I'm impressed, Dr. Corby. Like, there's some good lines, but I don't know, man. Ancient civilization, advanced androids. There's quite a few good things going on here that are very Star Trek. And like you said, this is probably one of the first instances of like, if you transfer a consciousness to a body that's not human, is it still human, even though all the memory engrams or stuff there. Does it have the heart? Does it have the feeling of a human? And that's done quite a bit after this. So this is as an example of one of the first ones. I think it's done really well. It would have been better if we knew who Roger Corby was outside of the lines of dialogue from Kirk saying that, oh, is required reading at the Academy, and it's Dr. Roger Corby, Spock, making this request, and Chapel saying, you would not, back in your class, you would never hurt a fly or an animal. Has such respect for life. And I can see the logic in the Corby android saying, I do have respect for life, so much so that I want to make people live forever in a body that's easily repairable.
Well, not to jump in annoyingly, but the fact that Ruck was so convinced that preserving life supersedes orders, then if the android has a similar logic, then preserving life supersedes autonomy to have life. The same level of broken, but logic applies to both, right? He's overly logical because he's now an android.
Yeah. So, Spock is barely in it, but when he is in it, it's pretty good. Except for some of there's a scene on the bridge too where he's looking at the display of XO3 and it switches to Dr. Corby, and the scene's just shit. It's got stuff on the fucking image. Like, did you not have anything to remaster there, guys? Because it doesn't look good. So there are moments like that which kind of take me a little bit out of it. And that one close up of Spock after he runs into Kirk on the Enterprise is also god awful. So, what else? No one will notice that we used a shot from the man trap because. Love the use of the old cage lasers. That's great. Uniforms, the research uniforms, like the two-tone thing going on there. Andrews was great. Again, another great guest actor. Yeah, and it does make you wonder, and that, like I said, I watched this many times when I was younger. I didn't really think too much about the episode. Just, okay, it is what it is. When you actually get it down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's like, yeah, there's enough differences. Yes, all of your Rogerisms are in there, but there's no heart, no soul behind it. Right? So, score-wise, for what are the scores? There's 4 we do, right? Or is it just
it is enjoyment, enjoyment, old Trek, new Trek.
Okay. Enjoyment for me for this one is probably going to be 6.9. For old Trek, I'll give it a 7.3. For new Trek, I mean, they've done a lot of this in newer Trek too, so I'll give it a 7.6. And for all of Trek, I'll have it sit around a 6.9 as well. I think it's a good message on the human condition, and that's what Star Trek does well. So, yeah. Them my scores. Super chat in or PayPal in with yours. I don't have any to read right now. I don't think unless
There's a PayPal.
Check. All right.
We'd love to get another 5 or 10. I mean, small things add up. Show appreciation.
Jeff Jacobs again. Thank you,
Kicking
Jeff.
butt. Yeah.
It throws in 528, so thank you, and says, make Jeff pay at 28 because we appreciate your being here. I give this episode a 6.9. A lot I liked, but some missed opportunities to be better. Like why they didn't get Kirk playing chess with himself, and I disagree. Shatner definitely knew the cock rock. I mean, they had to rehearse. They did, but it was also attached to the stage, so they're not going to snap it off.
Yeah, to hand him a stunt piece.
Yeah, this is hand him something else. What better way to play a trick on somebody you work with than to not give them the actual thing that you're going to be shooting with?
Well, it's like with dialogue. Sometimes it's only naughty when you say it in the scene. I had a scene once for Trek Shots. We're doing the rehearsal with the read through the morning, and it was it was like 3 people for once, and we got to a bit, and it was so fucking sexual when he read out loud and it was not intended. And everyone glommed onto it about 3 lines in, and then Marcus breaks down. So like you can't stop crying because like it didn't, because it escalates. We hadn't gone through the scene yet. And it's like, I didn't mean any of this, and they're just laughing and laughing. It's like, I'm so, and we had to the scene because that's important. It's like, just don't play it sexual. Just don't do it. Just play it normal, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And Jeff says, yeah, I like the trick angle. Yeah, Trouble with Tribbles. They're whipping, the stagehands are whipping Tribbles out the top hatch at Kirk, at Shatner, to be assholes. That's why they're like bouncing off his head, which is great when Trials and Tribulations, where it's Jadzia tossing them, right? But no, I think if he had known what it looked like, he wouldn't have held it the way he did, unless he was in on the joke. And I really don't think he was. I think he was too professional to do something like that.
don't think there was a joke. I think it just happenstance and it became an epic meme.
It could have just been a coincidence as well. But
yeah, 100%.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So thank you, Jeff, for that.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to super chat or PayPal in while Sam is giving his close? It would be great. I will read those after he's done. But Sam, what did you think of this episode? And now, having discussed it for 2 hours, do you feel any different?
Well, yeah. So, yes, no, maybe.
Perfect.
Yeah. This is where the 60s of it has to kind of take effect as well, because you can't quite compare it to modern day plot holiness, because they're trying really hard. This is high advanced stuff, and a lot of the problems they're having are from post-watching logic. You know, Cage doesn't exist to anybody, but this is Cage again, right? Androids haven't happened yet, but androids happen all the time. So that's not fair. That's how I'm feeling, but that's not fair to the episode itself. But also, if you're a fair review, you have to take everything into account, right? So it's kind of trying to balance my opinion. But I think, yeah, as we said before, it shines in a lot of murkiness, meaning the guest cast make the sets feel better, the costume design helps the actors feel better, the message and story help the blandness feel better, and the highlight moments make the pacing feel better. That's not great. So, and the dark ending gut punches you in a really effective way. But it's the first truly non-ensemble piece. Every other episode they've always had stuff on the ship, and this does not count. It's so meaninglessly small, right? So I mean, you can imagine the actors getting the scripts, and George is scrolling, not in it. It's like, oh, okay. And that's everybody, right? Because they're not getting a day off. They're being not hired that week, right? Or they're doing another episode where they're more focused. Because I also saw this as there might be an episode in 3, production order wise, that they're going to shoot scenes for with a different director on the soundstage normally with the other cast, right? You have the ability to say, right, we're moving people over a bit, right?
I'm going to jump in real quick there because I didn't announce this at the beginning. Yeah, so this was released episode 7.
Yeah.
But in production order, it was episode 10.
All right. So it was jumped earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess there weren't any effects, were they? So it would have been done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus, the studio, the network also decided when things get released. That's why there was such a cock up with the other episodes. But yeah. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's fine. So yeah, it's one that it loses its freshness after the fact, but now we can rewatch it with a Stranger Worlds logic, which also doesn't work, and it does not, and it does just. It honestly makes me respect the writers of Stranger Worlds less.
Yeah.
Honestly, and that sounds harsh, but I mean, they didn't do the proper research, or they chose to ignore it hardcore, and that's a shame.
Even though Corby in Stranger Worlds is fantastic, I really like his character. They did a really good job of writing him, casting him, except for the accent. Yeah.
They just
it doesn't work in this instance.
Made a choice to throw that stuff away, and it's like, oh, what an odd choice. Okay, he's not interesting here, really, but you're pissing people around with it.
I mean, that's kind of the point. But Christine would have noticed that marked difference, right? So
what makes it all the more silly, as you said, where's your accent gone? He doesn't sound like himself. All Stranger Worlds is wrong, which is more likely, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely upper average with some conflicting feelings about other stuff. But I do think it's smart, it's interesting, and the flaws are just, variable. Score-wise, though, Really difficult to score, I think. I think enjoyment, I'll give a 7, or technically more than you, but just hit the 7. I think is fair because some performances are really good. All Trek, because I'm doing the order of the sheet. All Trek, I'd go for probably 5.9, 5.8, because I mean most Trek's better, right? I'd happily watch most of TNG over this, but it's not a problem. Just the better Trek, right? Old Trek goes 6 because yeah, it's above average, but there's a lot of better Trek, right? New Trek, the writing's a lot. I think 8 for New Trek. I mean, this blows out of the water so much of Discovery.
Yeah.
I mean, just in its intelligence and its, on less money, it's better than almost every Discovery episode. Sorry, in my opinion.
And it's a core message or in acting and like what?
Well, it's across the board. Just the general
okay.
across the board is just a better piece of successful media, I would say. As harsh as that sounds, like you said, you can read so much into everyone playing chess, to working out, to no one's really a villain. Like even the point of giving the motivation to the android Ruck, like you understand him. There's no confusion. You understand why he's doing this, and it makes sense. And had they not let them be here, he wouldn't be dead. So, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why you don't let people in, because they get you killed.
Yeah.
As in, they did anyway.
Okay. Well, no more super chats to read. I'll close out this poll real quick.
Okay.
I know, right? I'll check PayPal again, but I don't think so.
We want to know your thoughts. Because we've given it kind of above average, but not great. I really want to see what you guys are going to say score-wise.
Yeah. The poll is, what do you think of this episode? Yep. S, A, C, or B? A wins with 53%.
Okay.
Second place is B with 32%.
Okay.
S got 5%.
Okay.
And C was 11%. So.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anything to read on your end, or shall I jump in with?
No, there's nothing else now.
All right.
There's also 19 votes, so 19 votes on that, which is a good number.
Good. Yeah, that's great. I mean, we're getting more viewers, which is lovely. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
And we hit 30 likes as well, which I asked for, so thank you.
I mean, guys, have you had a nice time? Have you enjoyed this conversation? I mean, 30 views is fantastic. Well, 27 is actually fantastic. If you enjoyed this, if you learned some stuff, it's been very, very, very interesting. I mean, I love these because we're for posterity keeping this really detailed view of this thing, because I've seen the episode, but don't remember the subtlety.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm making you look in different ways. You're welcome.
Yeah, and I'm fucking old. 52 now. Watched these my entire life, but I see new things with the review mindset. And plus, your take on certain scenes, which I'd never considered before. So, yeah. It's interesting.
Especially as we have gut reactions to creative intent. If I come from a certain place, was that what I am? Yeah. Let's see what people say. Sci-Fi Guy 7.5. Okay, higher than us. Devro 8. Dan Ben 4. Ooh. And that's it.
Oh, Joseph 8.7. Extra points for the costume design on Sherry. Yes.
I do kind of think they should have made it, unisex, meaning they also don't get black shirts. They should have had their,
No.
Because it is so obvious.
It was completely different. Straps. They had a full bodysuit thing.
The helper guy, I feel like he had the same exact thing, just with a shirt.
Nope. No, he had the same one as Corby.
I think you need unisex across the board. I think you need no shirts for everybody. I think that's the only fair thing.
I disagree.
I know you do.
1000%.
Yeah. Give her a shirt then. It's fine, right?
No, absolutely not. What is wrong with you? I love 60s costume design.
What was she in? Because she stands out so strong, not just for her looks.
I don't know.
Because I recognize her. I feel like... Okay. Sherry Jackson. That didn't take long, did it? Is she still alive? Yes. She's 84.
She doesn't look nearly as good, though.
Probably not. Her last acting was 1992. So... She's in Fantasy Island for one thing. Yeah, I mean, guest actor for Things and Bobs, but... A lot of things... Not much I particularly know, but Yeah, I mean, regular TV actor for a long time. Yeah. A lot of stuff. Batman for 2 episodes. Lost in Space. Okay. Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Wagon Train. Yeah, she did a whole lot of stuff. Ah.
AC Costello says, dang, Captain looking good for his amount of time around Seoul. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I just turned 52, May 28th. We're going to have a Drunkyards birthday celebration for me soon. Don't know quite when. It's kind of hard with summer schedules and like shit going on the weekends. I might have to do it during the week. So just stay tuned. We will have a birthday celebration Drunkyards that we'd like you to attend. Sam just had a birthday on June 7th, which we will do a separate Drunkyards for because why not? Should be focused on a particular person.
Absolutely.
So just pay attention. Make sure you're notified. Click notification bell icon to all so you know when we're doing lives.
Yeah, and we always try and give those more warning because we really want you guys to be there, support the channel, and have some chaos because
it's fun.
It happens.
Those are fun.
They're a lot of fun.
And Classic for Real gives it a we'll always have Paris out of 10.
Interesting. And isn't it?
Yeah, it's same kind of vibe. Former love.
Well, I was about to say is the fact that we've had McCoy and Chapel back to back, right? That's weird. And Spock soon, mock time, right? That's 3 previous lovers. Do we have any for Kirk? He gets Carol, of course, but
that comes into play during. Is it court martial? Yeah, I think one of the leads of that.
Yeah.
Which is very reminiscent of Measure of a Man, where Picard also had a thing for the judge in that, right? So
as if they reference themselves, possibly. Good stuff.
Donnie gives it a 9 out of 10. So thank you.
Oh, he hates it. Shit. Wow.
It's so mean you say that every time.
Well, he always gives 10s. That's what you want. Anything other than 10 is surprising. Surprised.
Yeah, he gives it a 1 out of 2. He's only got 2 scores. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone that super chatted and PayPal'd. We appreciate you guys.
Hope it was interesting.
Next week, hold on. Let's see. We'll give you guys a heads up for what's on next week. Dagger of the Mind. So that is the next one in production order. Go watch Dagger of the Mind before next week. And come back and join us for all our lives next week and our edited content on the weekend.
More fun questions. And they're all really interesting. They're all interesting.
Yeah. So until next time, he is Commander Cockings.
He's got a Foley!
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.